Know what will happen to the shuttle service. Dean Palo is answering our questions.
And it's been a rough winter so far, with snow and wind chills impacting classes and commutes. See what factors Point Park officials consider before they decide to call off.
It's Pittsburgh's premier sports awards event, and Point News was there. The local legends honored at the Dapper Dan Awards. Point News starts now.
Live from our studio in downtown Pittsburgh, you're watching Point News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Point News. I'm Courtney Joden.
And I'm Phil Novotzik. Our top story today, Point Park is debating a major decision that will impact thousands of students.
It has to do with that shuttle services that take students back and forth between the university and Oakland. Reporter Kelsey Metzger talked with students about how the outcome will impact their plans.
The eventual relocation of the Playhouse is causing student concern about the future of the Oakland shuttles. A popular spot for student living, South Oakland may soon be reconsidered by students like sophomore Zach Aaron if shuttles cease to run.
Next year, me and a few friends are going to live off campus, and the transportation down to downtown from Oakland is just so convenient. Since it's free, you don't need to worry about money, so it's just one less thing you have to worry about paying for.
It's not only about the convenience for Aaron, he utilizes Point Park's free service for working as well.
For someone like me and a couple of my friends who work for a company that we work up at the University of Pittsburgh up in Oakland, so for us it's more than just living. We need to make money, and the best way to get there is through the shuttle.
Now, Dean Palo says his office has been in talks with various organizations at Point Park about the shuttle service.
I know that this office, the Office of Student Affairs, will work very closely with getting notice out no matter what the change is in enough time so that the students do have the ability to make adjustments.
As soon as possible would definitely be the best time to get this decision made. I know between me and my friends that's one of the biggest factors, whether there's free transportation back to campus. I'm certainly going to rethink the decision depending on the outcome of whether they decide to suspend shuttle service to and from Oakland.
Reporting for Point News, I'm Kelsey Metzger.
These low temperatures have been making it almost unbearable to wait outside for a shuttle or bus. Dealing with ice-covered cars isn't easier. Reporter Joanne Pototsky has more on what Point Park officials considered before canceling classes. Point Park spring semester started off in the middle of the harshest winter Pittsburgh has seen in 20 years. Between bitter temperatures, snow, and classes, students are feeling like they can't catch a break.
It can be bitter and brutal.
I have to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes chipping all the snow and the ice off my car, and then I have to wait for it to warm up because I don't want to drive all the way in that kind of cold weather. And because there's no parking close to campus, I normally end up parking in Station Square, which means I have to walk across the Smithfield Street Bridge, and the wind and over the water gets really cold.
Temperatures ranging from 10 to 20 degrees below average were the norm for Pittsburgh this January, and wind chills took the lows even lower.
It's just been freezing. I haven't wanted to even get out of bed. It's just very inconvenient for commuters, especially for people who take the bus and have to stand out in the frigid cold.
Point Park canceled classes on Tuesday, January 28th, with the forecast calling for a high of 8 and a wind chill that felt like -10.
When school was canceled on Tuesday, I was ecstatic. It was just a nice break, and it was really nice that I didn't have to deal with the weather.
Students are asking why classes haven't been canceled again, or the university hasn't had a delay despite the relentless cold temperatures mixed with ice and snow.
We're always thinking about our student safety. We are thinking about also that students pay for an education, and we must deliver what students are paying their hard-earned money to have, so we need to deliver that.
Dean of Students Keith Palo told me closing the university is not an easy decision.
So there's many sides to this story, and it's not black and white in any way, shape, or form. It is a very gray area, and a decision that I'm a part of, and one that I know that the entire university takes very seriously.
The only way to know for sure if the university is closed is by checking your Point Park email or signing up for the university's Point Alert system. For Point News, I'm Joanne Pototsky.
This flu season, the H1N1 strain, or swine flu, is really causing problems, especially among young adults who haven't gotten the vaccine. Heather Capo, the registered nurse who runs Point Park Student Health Center, says she has definitely noticed a decrease in the number of students wanting a flu shot.
A lot of the people come in and they are afraid of needles. That's one of the more simple explanations that they give. The other one is a misnomer that by getting the flu vaccination, they're going to come down with the flu, and it's simply not true. If you do have the flu, we have prepared Surviving the Flu and Common Cold care bags that we hand out, and it has a lot of those products in there and a teaching sheet kind of giving the tips that mom would give to take care of yourself while you're away from home.
And it's not too late to get a flu shot. Students can stop by the health center on the second floor of Thayer. The cost is $10.
Every year, Pittsburgh honors those who've made a big difference in sports. I attended the 78th annual Dapper Dan Dinner and Sports Auction to show you the sports star-studded night. I want to begin with the man who accomplished something that hasn't been done here in 21 years. He led the Pittsburgh Pirates to the playoffs for the first time since 1992. And that propelled manager Clint Hurdle to Sportsman of the Year, who is moving the team in a new direction.
We're moving forward. We're in the right lane. We're representing. We're very thankful for all of you that have stayed in the hunt with us and battled through the hard times, because we had a whole lot of fun last summer, and I'm glad you had a whole lot of fun with us.
A lot of fun that lasted all the way into October for a change. The dinner also honored a legend with a Lifetime Achievement Award, Steeler Franco Harris, who talked about his immaculate reception 41 years ago.
I look at it where we have these great receivers like John Stallworth, Louis Lips, Lynn Swan, and who has the famous catch of them all, baby? Yeah.
Harris enjoying jabbing at his teammates a little, but said this was a night to mainly say thank you. Also saying thank you was Sportswoman of the Year Patrice Matamoros, who brought back the Pittsburgh Marathon to the city after a 5-year break and just weeks after the 2 bombs detonated at the Boston Marathon. The night really belonged to the Boys and Girls Club of Western Pennsylvania, who will receive proceeds from the dinner and help thousands of underserved youth. Such a big night for Pittsburgh. Here's some good news. Spring training has officially started, so get ready for Bucko fever to sweep the city. We'll see if we can make to Bucktober once again.
And still to come on Point News, it's called The Chair, and it's taking over Point Park. The documentary being filmed right here and how students are getting involved in this Hollywood production.
Plus, Point Park is adding a new master's degree to its schedule. How this new program will get students in Hollywood's state of mind.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
Hi, you're tuned into Point Park University Television, and UView is for you. Stacy?
Yes, Dan. UView is for you.
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 UView is for you. UView is for you. UView is for you.
To me, freedom of speech means there are no barriers to voice opinions. Communication is key to a functioning society and relationships in those societies. I believe our forefathers gave us this right, so if concerns or problems arise, we have the right to respectively use words, aids, and body language to give our message. Compromise may not always be met, but when it does meet, it opens up the world to new ideas, relationships, and makes the world become a happier place.
Hollywood is coming to Pittsburgh, and Point Park is getting a glimpse at all the action. Reporter Sydney Cooper is here with the details. Sydney?
Thanks, Courtney. The university is home to a new documentary series named The Chair. The show will follow the journey of two directors using the same script and resources to create their own film. The GRW Theater was packed last week for the kickoff celebration when the campus community got to meet producers Chris Moore and Corey Musa. Students in the audience buzzed about the possibilities to learn about the industry and to gain real-world experience right here on campus. More than 100 students will serve as interns and employees during the production of The Chair. Viewers can expect to see the show air on cable television this fall. For Point News, I'm Sydney Cooper.
Thanks, Sydney. Speaking of Hollywood and Point Park, this fall, the university will begin offering a Master of Fine Arts in Screenwriting and Playwriting. Faculty member Nelson Chipman is in charge of the course, and he calls it a milestone for the university. He's already had applicants from Washington State to Florida, even from Brazil.
In terms of looking at the program, we look at writing and success and career as a marathon. And this is the start of that marathon as preparing and giving you all the tools that you need to then sort of, once the program's done, how do you start building that professional career? So this low residency model works really well for that.
The low residency means most of the education will be online. The deadline to apply for this fall is June 27th. A wintry mix greeted students driving and walking to classes today. So, what's in store for the weekend? Tori Adams will be here to talk about the weekend forecast coming up.
And some of the biggest wrestling names throw a big bash at the Berg. The connection this party has to Point Park, we'll find out.
Freedom of speech is my right as an American to voice my opinion, or if I choose to stay silent. I have the right to practice my religion. I have the right to publish my own works. With this right, we can be creative, innovative, and change the world. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
An expression, a belief, a symbol, freedom to worship, an unspoken word. To express yourself means standing up for what you believe in. There's a freedom to worship, and a freedom to live. To speak never saying a word, to love, to let your voice be heard. The light of your own path. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
Do you know all the things you can do with your student ID? Along with getting discounts to some of the restaurants around campus. Showing your Point Park ID can net you deals on tickets at theaters in the Cultural District. To check out all the current options, just search Student Discounts on the Point Park University homepage.
What does freedom of speech mean to you? Take a second to think about it. Does that freedom mean you can say whatever you want, whenever you want? Or does that freedom of speech mean something deeper? There is no right or wrong answer to the question. My answer to what does freedom of speech means to me is simple. Freedom of speech is a privilege that I myself, along with many others, have thanks to the individuals who have fought and continue to fight for it today. We're able to express ourselves through writing, art, and even our body language.
Another winter storm is pounding the Northeast. Philadelphia and New York are bracing for about a foot of snow, and all federal offices in Washington, D.C. are closed. The good news for us, the storm is just grazing our area. Tori Adams is here with our weekend outlook. Tori?
The morning commute. During our morning commute this morning, we saw some flurries. We saw some flurries with a high of 28, and this evening it's going to be a high of 30 degrees. Friday is going to be a high of 32 degrees with some precipitation. Perfect weather to cuddle with your honey.
Saturday is going to be 20 degrees with some snow, and Sunday is going to be 25 degrees with some snow again. Sunday, you should see a mix of sun and clouds with an afternoon high of 25. Here we have a picture of the snow in Market Square. Luckily, the weather will be warming up toward the end of next week, and most of the snow will melt in time for the unveiling of the new art piece Congregation, which you'll learn more about in our next newscast. Now back to Courtney and Phil.
All right, wrestling fans, this year for the first time ever, Pittsburgh played host to the WWE's Royal Rumble.
30 wrestlers in one ring inside the Council Energy Center. But before some of those wrestling stars got to work, they partied Pittsburgh style. Reporter Caroline Collins joins us now. Caroline, you were there too, and you caught up with some pretty excited fans.
The Royal Rumble took place January 26th, the night before wrestling fans from all over came out to Latitude 40 near Robinson Town Center for the Royal Rumble kickoff party. It featured one of WWE's biggest superstars.
Kevin Nash. That's who dozens of wrestling fans came to see at Latitude 40. Andy Kaloji is one of them.
Yeah, you know, a couple times here and there, but I mean, Royal Rumble, always special with the Royal Rumble match, so looking forward to it quite a bit.
Kevin Nash spoke to fans question and answer style for an hour. He also met some lucky VIP partygoers, some of whom even collect Nash memorabilia.
Well, right here's the two very rare comic books of Kevin Nash. The preview, which is very rare, hard to find, and the #1 issue. Plus, we got my Still Chair sign.
Dunwash also has a collection of permanently inked wrestling tattoos.
Well, I got Triple H, got the Hardy Boys with Matt and Jeff Hardy, Undertaker and Kane, Taz, Edge, Radar Superstar, the Stone Cold Skull, and then I got the DX one.
The party was sponsored by Chairshot Reality, a talk show on WrestleZone.com that films at Point Park University. Dynamic D, an online gaming program, was also a sponsor.
Well, it's a great opportunity to bring out Kevin Nash for the wrestling fans to see, and a great way also to let people know about Dynamic D as the game.
The wrestler Batista won the Royal Rumble, beating crowd favorites John Cena and Daniel Bryan. Now let's check in with Chris Hoffman for a few other sports headlines. Chris?
Thanks, Caroline. Well, the A.J. Burnett situation has ended, and Pirates fans may not be too happy. The 37-year-old pitcher signed with the cross-state rival Philadelphia Phillies for 1 year and $16 million. Burnett played 2 seasons for the Pirates, posting a record of 26-21 in 61 starts. And the captain of one of the proudest sports franchises will hang up his cleats this season. Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter posted on Facebook that he will retire at the end of the 2014 season. The 13-time All-Star holds several Yankee records and is a member of the 3,000 Hits Club. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says about 8 million people die of cancer worldwide each year. Former Point Park pioneer Maeve Gallagher's mother, Nancy Gallagher, was one of them. The former honorary coach of the women's basketball team lost her battle with cancer back in November. This year, the Women's Cancer Awareness Game was played in memory of her. Gallagher came back to be an honorary coach, just as her mother before her.
Stood for because even though I graduated, we're still a family, and they showed that today, and all of Point Park showed that by coming out, and that's what my mom was all about. She was all about family.
The proceeds went to the Pittsburgh Promise General Scholarship Fund. The Pioneers weren't able to pull off the victory, guys. Indiana University Southeast did win in the final seconds there, 70-66. Tough one there for the Pioneers, but a good situation all around. Great emotion that game.
Yeah, and they are always a very good team in this conference. Those Indiana teams have always been tough in the KIAC, so not a bad performance out of the Pioneers that game.
They still hold a 4-1 record against them, so we're good.
Exactly.
All right, I can't believe this A.J. Burnett situation, but I guess Pittsburgh's going to have to get over it. Well, that's all for the time that we have for this week's Point News. We will be back next Thursday, so be sure to catch us live at 2 p.m.
Be safe and enjoy your week, everybody.
Good job, team. Good job.